Yo, what's up, guys? We're back with another video today. And first of all, Happy New Year's. I know it's like, what, like 3 or 4 days late or something like that? It doesn't matter. Listen, I was enjoying my New Year's, having fun with that. So I took a little bit of break after working on that Oscar video, guys. But I'm back, guys, and I'm here to give you a banger to start off the new year. And that is, what if every #1 contender moved up to fight for the belt? So it's basically how I just said, guys. Like, what if the #1 contender went up to fight like an upper weight class to fight for the belt? It's pretty much like self-explanatory. So without further ado, let's start from flyweight. Brandon Royval versus Merab Dvalishvili. Now here's the thing. I know that it's probably gonna be Kaikar France because they booked Royval against Manel Cap, and it's gonna be like in March. So they'll probably do that fight. Like, they'll probably have Kaikar France fight Pantoja, but it just makes it more easier for me to do Brandon Royval, because Brandon Royval is a big flyweight. Like, he walks around, he's like, what, like 5'9" or 5'10" at flyweight? Like, that's pretty big. I'm pretty sure Royval is taller than Merab Dvalishvili, so if Brandon Royval bulked up, he could honestly fight Merab. And as far as this fight goes, guys, like, Merab beats Brandon Royval, don't get me wrong. But Royval, I feel like, would do a lot better than people would give him credit for, right? Like, I feel like flyweights are kind of underrated, like, as far as the top guys go. Like, you got Brandon Moreno, like, you've got Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval, Kaikar France, you've got some elite flyweights. And I definitely feel like flyweights have, like, if we were talking about flyweights back when Demetrius Johnson was champion, there's no discussion. But nowadays, I feel like flyweights are actually, like, really good. Like, I feel like since Demetrius has left, the skill level of the flyweights have gone up drastically. With that being said, Brandon Royval would lose to Merab. Merab's wrestling is just really good. Like, it's not like he's, like, him and Bilal are good wrestlers, but they have no submission threats. Like, when you get taken down by Merab or Bilal, you're not worried about getting submitted. You're worried about not getting taken down again by these guys, because they just take control time and just doing little punches, and that's really it from those guys. And Merab's worse, in my opinion. Like, at least Bilal, like, does stuff in the fight. Like, he tries to damage the fighters, but Merab just sits there. That's it. He doesn't try and, like, do ground and pound. He just tries to, like, submit them, even though he can't. So it would probably go to decision if this fight were to happen. But I feel like Royval would do good. He's got good scrambles, and he's a way better striker than Merab is. But he would definitely lose to Merab. But it would be by decision. Now, this one's a really good one, guys. Umar Namaga versus Ilia Topuria. What if Umar went up to fight Ilia Topuria? This might be a hot take, guys. This might be a hot take, right? But I think Umar would lose to Topuria. Corey Sandhagen's like a striker. Like, let's not forget. Like, Umar does not have, like, invincible wrestling. Like, this guy, Corey Sandhagen, was literally able to get up from it. I know it's Corey Sandhagen. He's an elite bantamweight. But still, Corey Sandhagen's like primarily a striker. So the fact that he was able to get up a lot, what makes you think that Ilia Topuria can't? And if Topuria was to get up, he would probably knock out Umar. Like, if you're able to knock out Max Holloway, no one's safe. There's nobody that's safe from Topuria's power. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Knocking out Max Holloway is arguably the biggest accomplishment you can do in MMA right now, besides, like, being Jon Jones. Like, and that's probably going to happen soon, let's be real. But as far as this fight goes, Topuria would probably get taken down, but he would get up, and Umar would just keep trying, but eventually Topuria would just constantly just stop him, and then he would eventually just rock Umar and knock him out, I think. Alright, the next one. What if Diego Lopez went up to fight Islam Makhachev? Yeah, Islam's being Diego Lopez, guys. Come on. Although I will say, I feel like Diego would do well as far as the grappling would go. Like, Islam's not a better grappler compared to, like, Khabib. Because, like, the Dustin Poirier fight, when that fight happened, Islam had similar positions as Khabib did, and Poirier was able to get out of those. Whereas Khabib was able to block Poirier's, like, moves to try and get up. And here's the thing, Dustin Poirier's not, like, the best grappler. And the fact that he was able to get up multiple times against Islam says a lot to me. Like, Like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, Poirier was probably training, like, every day on the grappling, but still, you get the point. And Diego Lopez is, like, he's kind of transitioning to more of, like, a mixed around guy. Like, he's got the grappling, he's got the knockout power, he's not, like, the greatest striker, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean, guys, right? And that's another thing. Diego Lopez has KO power, right? Like, we've seen Islam get hit and rocked by guys who don't really have the craziest knockout power. We've never really seen Islam fight someone, as far as recent years go, with, like, legitimately KO power. If this fight were to happen, this would be, like, Islam's first fight where he has to deal with someone with knockout power. But with that being said, Islam is just a way better striker. He could probably, like, regardless, he could probably still take down Diego Lopez just because, you know, that's just how it goes with Islam. And probably just win the fight, either by decision or submission. I low-key feel like Diego could survive most of the grappling and lose to a decision to Islam. He might throw some submission attempts and he might almost get them, but he would ultimately fail. Now the next one, what if Armen Serkanyan went up to welterweight to fight Belal Muhammad? I actually think Armen, as much as I like Belal Muhammad, Armen would beat Belal, I think. I actually think. I think Armen Serkanyan has better wrestling than Belal. I actually think he has better striking and better kicks. He's just overall better than Belal Muhammad, in my honest opinion. Like, I feel like welterweight's good right now, but I feel like the skill ceiling from lightweight to welterweight is very different. Like, lightweights overall, in my opinion, are really good. Like, the top 10 guys, you could make an argument that they could fight for the belt. Like, they are skilled enough that even, like, the ranked, like, Hanato Moicano, I'm pretty sure he's ranked 10th. He could hold his own against Islam. Like, I'm not saying that's the case, guys. I'm not saying that's the case, but you get what I mean. Alright, what if Shavkat Rakhmonov went up to middleweight to fight Dricus du Plessis? He'd probably get smoked. Dricus du Plessis' plot armor is just too strong to Shavkat's aura. Okay, I'm not gonna go there, but you get what I mean. In all seriousness, I think Dricus would actually beat Shavkat, but it would be a tough fight. It would actually be a really tough fight. Shavkat's got, like, I feel like it would be very close as far as the wrestling goes, but I think Dricus does have the edge and is better as far as wrestling goes. Like, not as far as taking down. Like, we've seen how he is when it comes to taking down Islam. He's not better there, but he's good when it comes to the grappling. That's what I mean. Shavkat's better as far as the wrestling, but if it went to the ground, I feel like Dricus would have a better odds at submitting Shavkat. Ian Gary was almost able to. Like, I don't know. I feel like Dricus could potentially submit Shavkat, but I don't think he would. I don't think he would be able to submit Shavkat, and it would probably either go to a decision or something like that. Maybe he could submit him. Maybe I'm just, like, delusional, but I think Dricus could potentially submit Shavkat, but I think Dricus would win this fight by decision. Alright, now this is the quickest one. What if Sean Strickland went up to fight Alex Pereira? I really wanted to put Khamzat, but he's not fighting for the belt. It should be Khamzat. It really should. But before we get into this, I'm so annoyed. Listen, does Sean Strickland technically deserve it? Yes, he had a very close fight with Dricus. He was the champion before then, and he beat Paulo Costa like 50-45 him. But it's Paulo Costa, and that fight was boring, and we just saw Khamzat Chimaev submit Robert Whittaker. Nobody does that to Robert Whittaker, guys. Nobody does that to Robert Whittaker, especially in the first round. So it's a little bit annoying. I think it's going to be a fun fight, don't get me wrong. Like, I think Dricus and Sean Strickland is going to be good. I think it's going to be similar to how the first fight was. But, like, would you... Come on. I don't care. I don't care if Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis is boring. I want to see that fight. Undefeated versus plot armor. That is what it is. But rant aside, let's talk about Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira. Yeah, Alex Pereira would just knock out Sean Strickland in, like, the first round. Maybe second. I do think Strickland would be able to last a bit longer because it feels like after the Alex Pereira fight, he definitely made some changes to his game plan. Like, not much. He's kind of had a similar style. Like, I think if this fight were to happen, which it wouldn't because these guys are friends, but let's just say in an imaginary world, right? Sean Strickland would probably lean a lot more into his grappling. Like, I think Sean Strickland barely has better grappling than Alex Pereira. I think Alex low-key would, but Alex would be able to stuff them just because he's way bigger. He's like 230. I've seen clips of Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira sparring, and Sean Strickland does look a bit like chunky, but even then Alex Bajera, when he's like cutting weight, is way bigger than him. So like regardless, if Sean Strickland tried to become chunky Sean Strickland, he would get knocked out still. Like this is the easiest one to predict. Now we have heavyweight. Now I have two of them. I have Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones, just because it makes it interesting and it also makes the video longer. But let's start off with Tom Aspinall. So like Tom Aspinall's knocking out Magomed Ankalaev. It's like, yeah, Magomed's like, he's kind of a normal size like light heavyweight. He's like what, 6'2"? That's kind of small for a heavyweight. Usually heavyweights are like 6'4", 6'3", 6'5", like around that weight. And Magomed's not really, he doesn't cut weight that much. Like I would say, there's just no way for Magomed to win against Tom Aspinall. There really isn't. He's just a horrible style, and it doesn't really matter what your style is against Tom Aspinall. He's going to knock you out within like the first minute or two. Like there's just no way around it. Maybe like the only guy who could hold his own against Tom Aspinall and survive the first round would probably be like Jon Jones, but that's it. There's literally no one else. Now I did say about Tom Aspinall, but what about if Magomed fought Jon Jones? Now if Magomed fought Jon Jones, I actually think that he would do a little bit better, because I think his style does a little bit better with Jon Jones. Jon Jones kind of he's more mixed, I'd say. Like, I think Jon would want to stand on the feet to more or less prove a point, because that's the thing. Jon Jones, like, when it came to the Stipe Miocic fight, he used the wrestling. I can't believe I'm making a comparison with the Stipe fight, because Stipe was like a grandpa, but I have to. Like, when Jones fought Stipe was a striker, and he was landing good shots against Jones, but Jones wanted to stand on the feet. He could easily have taken down Stipe if he chose to. He could have submitted him, knocked him out if he chose to, but he chose to stand, and he knocked out Stipe on the feet to prove a point. And I would assume Jon Jones would do the same thing against Magomed, prove a point and knock him out, or just like bully him, just do whatever, take him down mercifully and then knock him out. But guys, that is me covering every #1 contender from all the weight classes, from flyweight to heavyweight, giving my predictions of what if they moved up a weight class to fight for the belt. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to make more videos in 2025 to see how this goes, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!